All right. Hello, my name is Matthew, and I'm a nutrition student or a nutrition major at NAU. And today we're going to be using the resources from the Family Food Center food box or any food box that you may get. And we're going to be using those ingredients to create a nice creamy lemon pasta salad. It's like a cold pasta salad. So here we have, these are the ingredients that come with the food box that I got from my portion of the project. So there's some celery, potatoes, zucchini, Roma tomato, and some carrots. These are all washed, and I'm gonna show you how to prep those in a little bit. And then I went to the store. We were allowed a $10 budget to buy additional ingredients, but we needed to make sure it was under $10. Bell pepper, cucumber, onion, lemon, and then I got this mayo. It was on sale, and so everything here was under $10. I've got some salt and pepper, and then some garlic powder and Italian seasoning. And so we are going to get started. Oh. And this macaroni pasta that also came in the box. And so we're gonna get started. Right here, I have some water boiling. I'm gonna boil the potato real quick, and then I'm also gonna boil the pasta. And so let me get started on that. And so now we're gonna wait for that water to boil. It was boiling just a second ago, but I wanted to turn it down just in case. So now we're gonna start prepping all of our veggies. Okay. To start off, I'm gonna just put those on the counter here. So I'm gonna start off by getting the celery. I'm just gonna chop off each end. Okay, so now I'm gonna slice them down the middle, and then I'm gonna just go small little pieces because I want them to be about the same size as the macaroni. I don't want big pieces of celery here and then small pieces of pasta. So yeah, just in half. And then we're gonna just start. And a good suggestion is curling your fingers. So when you're running with the knife, you're not gonna have your fingers out like that so that you can accidentally cut them. So yeah, curling your fingers is a good way to prevent injury while cutting. We have all of our celery waiting to be consumed. Celery, I'm gonna add that to the bowl in a little bit. Okay, our water's back to a boil over here. So let me grab some scissors really quick. Oh, no scissors, we're going for the knife. Okay, got the knife. I'm gonna use all of the pasta. This is a 1 pound bag. Just jump straight in there. All right, helps also clean along the way, not leaving this on the counter. So just throw that away. For the carrots, I've washed them. They're pretty clean, so I'm not gonna end up taking the skin off. But for the recipe, I'm gonna do some like small ribbons with a potato peeler so that we don't have too much crunch. I think that it'd be nice to have some small crunch. So I'm literally just gonna be doing small pieces like this, very thin, just using the potato peeler, and I'm just gonna go and get them all down nice and small, just so we can have some nice orange, because it's important to eat the rainbow, getting a variety of different vegetables. It's important to get a good variety. Carrots have a good amount of, there we go. Vitamin A. They're a good source of vitamin A, which is something that is good to help with your vision. It's kind of like a known little tidbit. And so I'm gonna just get all these carrots down. I'm also trying to keep the carrots about the same size, maybe about like 2 inches, just for consistency. So yeah, I'm gonna let that pasta go for a little bit longer. Okay. So I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna leave these little like carrot nubs. Okay. So for the onion, I think I'm just gonna end up dicing this, keeping it about the same size. And then I'm just gonna take the edges off. This is not a very good knife, so you're just gonna have to bear with me here. Both edges off. And we can take this outside layer out of here. Nice. Onion. Like I said, I personally like to just clean up my mess, make sure nothing's left. Okay. So now we're just gonna kind of dice this onion. I'm gonna cut it in half. I think that would make it a little easier. Okay. So next, we are gonna grab the potato and we are gonna dice it. Like I said, consistently try to keep it about the same size. Try to be consistent with the cutting, but we are gonna throw it into the pot so that we can get it nice and boiled. Because we want a soft potato, we don't want a crunchy potato. Let me check on that pasta real quick. I have a feeling that it's gonna be done here pretty soon. Starting to look right about done. Let's check it out. Also be careful because it's gonna be pretty dang hot. Oh yeah, we're there. Okay, so I'm gonna turn that off. I'm gonna leave this potato for now. I have a strainer in the sink. I'm gonna pour this in there and I'm gonna put a bunch of cold water onto the pasta just so that it stops cooking. Because if we leave it, it's still really hot. So if we run some cold water, be careful because I have a metal pan and that was pretty hot. Okay. All right, remove it in the sink. That's in the sink now, but it's in a strainer. And now I'm gonna run some cold water over it. So now that pasta is just gonna be sitting in the sink and just cooling down and straining. And so now I'm gonna just keep working on this potato really quick, knock it out, throw it in there, and then we can continue with our other veggies. Okay, so the potatoes are done. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna throw it onto boil. Let's check it out real quick. Let's get this water boiling. We're gonna throw those in. Okay, so now the water's at a boil. So I'm gonna end up just, if you can see, these are all the vegetables so far. I'm gonna scoot the potatoes in nice and slowly so we don't spill anything. Okay. Oh, we got one straggler. Okay, so now that we have all of those in there, I'm gonna grab this glass bowl and I'm going to add everything in here. Just nice and slow. Okay. Now our cutting board is clear. We have some good veggies in here. I have a bigger bowl that I'll put with the pasta for now. We're just gonna use this one. Okay. Woo! Throwing the tomato around. So now we have tomato. And then we're just gonna use the same knife. I'll probably rinse it just for good measure, but it's all the same. Okay. So yeah, now we're just going to dice this tomato. Yeah, remembering to keep those fingers bent or rounded so we're not cutting ourselves. We don't want any kitchen accidents. All right, tomatoes all nice and diced up. I'm gonna throw those in the mix. Okay, let's go check up on those potatoes real quick. I think a little bit longer would be nice, just so we're not having crunchy potatoes like I said. Now, we have the zucchini, just so you guys can see it. Make sure the potatoes are good. Cut off the edges. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go long ways, cut it in half, work my way down the middle. So now it's split. And then we're gonna do little half moons. So just like nice and thin. Like I said, just being consistent with size. I think this is nice. Got some nice green in there. Okay, that's 1/2. We can add it to the bowl. The bowl's starting to look nice and colorful. All these different colors in there. Okay. So, be careful handling the knife. Now, we have this nice, colorful bowl of veggies. Let's check on the potatoes one more time. Let's see where they're at. We got one little potato here. I'll scoot it back so you guys can see. See, I feel like it's still a little crunchy, so we're just gonna let it boil. Just playing everything by ear. Okay. Now, cucumber. And I'm gonna turn this down just a little bit because it's getting a little crazy there. So cucumber, we're just gonna take the top off. Bottom. Have these, toss them. And then I'm gonna just cut it right open to where it splits it like that. And then I'm just gonna take out the outsides. We don't want this white part. This part that's okay, but personally I just like to get all of it out. So just peeling it all out like that. Okay, and so now kind of flare it open. Anything, you just cut it in half. And then I'm gonna do these thin strips. And then we're gonna dice them, just the same as everything else. Line them up. Okay. Then, same thing. Let me just give these a stir real quick. And we can still go a little bit longer on those. And then we're gonna do the same thing here. Thin strips. Bunch them up. Get them all nice and lined up together. Pat them together with the knife. So now we have some nice uniform bell pepper, and we're just gonna toss those right in with the mix. All right. Starting to look pretty good. This is our last veggie. We have this lemon that we're gonna use for our dressing, and that's gonna be pretty good. Stir those one more time. We can check on them now. Grab a few. See, yeah, that's pretty good. So you don't want it to be too crunchy, but we don't want to get too soft. We're gonna throw those into some cold water as well. Let them cool down, and then we will throw them into that mix. Okay, so I dumped the potatoes into the strainer and I rinsed them with cold water so that they stopped cooking. Now I'm gonna let them drain for a little bit, and now we're gonna start the sauce, or the dressing. So I'm gonna grab three tablespoons of mayo. This is olive oil mayo. Okay, so now we can do some, let me cut this lemon real quick. We'll just scoop this over. Cut it right in half. I'm gonna use about 2 tablespoons of the lemon juice. I'm just gonna squeeze it right in. See where that gets us. This is about 1. And then we're gonna do 1 more. It's about half a lemon. Okay. We lost a seed from the lemon. There we go. You don't belong in there. All right. So now we have the mayo with the lemon juice. We're gonna do the garlic powder. Like I said, if you want to be more specific, it's about half a teaspoon. But I'm just gonna do a little bit to taste. And same with the Italian seasoning. Let's pop this bad boy open. Okay. And then we can also do like salt and pepper to taste. So I'm just gonna do a little pepper. Just a dash of salt. I like to put the salt in my hand. Just it's a good little trick so you don't because salt is pretty thin and it's difficult to see. So I have it in the palm of my hand, and I can pinch out how much I would like in there just so I don't over salt. Sounds good. Okay. So now, we grab a spoon. I'm gonna kind of mix it together. I'm gonna scrape the sides of the bowl too, so we're not missing out on any of that goodness. And based on the proportions, I have a lot of pasta. If it's not enough, then you're more than welcome to add or make a little bit more and go for it. But I'm just gonna go for this for now. Okay, so this is the consistency. It's pretty thick, not too thick, but let's taste it. Pretty good. Okay, so now I got a bigger bowl. I didn't think that the bowl that I had here was big enough, so I'm gonna transfer all this pasta. Just wasting all the dishes. Yeah, this is gonna work a little bit better. And then now, I'm gonna throw in all of our veggies. Do it on camera. Oh yeah. That last one. No one's escaping. Okay. So now, I'm just gonna get some tongs. Simple tongs just to help mix it up. Because we got a lot of stuff here. It's looking nice and fresh. Like I said, you want to eat a good variety of different colors. Get the orange carrots, the green zucchini, celery, and cucumber. We got the yellow pasta. Got some white onions in it. It's a yellow onion, but it still looks white. And I'm gonna add those potatoes once they cool down just a little bit more. And like I said, just because of the volume of the pasta that we have here, I might make a little bit more. I might have underestimated. I'm not following a recipe. This is just my brain, but I'll make a recipe for you so that you can follow along a little bit smoothly. Okay, now I've got the potatoes. I'm gonna just toss them right on top, nice and cold. Put that back in the sink. Give it just another small toss. See, now we got some more white from those potatoes too. Looking pretty tasty. And now we are going to add the sauce. So we're gonna get our spoon. Make sure, like I said, we're not missing any. Straight on top. And if you can't get fresh produce, the frozen produce is just as valuable. Just as many nutrients, it's easier to store. So if you find yourself running out of time pretty frequently, and you don't end up using your produce or it goes bad too soon, fresh or canned vegetables are just as good of a resource. So now I'm gonna mix that all together. So now we can let this cool in the fridge for a little while. I think it would taste better with all the ingredients being a little bit chilled. So I'm gonna go throw this in the fridge real quick. And I'm gonna let it sit in from there like 20-30 minutes just so we can get this. There's a lot of food, so we're gonna try to get it nice and cold. Okay, so I doubled the amount of sauce that we initially had made. So I did 6 tablespoons. I mean, this is just another 3 tablespoons, but it's exactly the same amount, just doubled. Just because of how large this portion is. And so yes, thank you for following along, barely. And I hope that you really enjoyed this recipe. It's pretty simple, a lot of veggies, the potatoes and the macaroni. So I'll make a recipe card that you guys can follow along, maybe a little bit more simple. I appreciate your time, and I hope that you guys enjoy the meal.